Hello, daughter and everyone. My name is Lou Shiwei, metro number 252780, and I choose Perak Museum as my online project. Welcome to Perak Museum. It's located in the town of Taiping, about 85 kilometers from Yibao, the capital of Perak. It's also near the Taiping Jelly, about 3 kilometers from town. The popular Taiping Room is also located about 10 minutes to drive away from its museum. This museum is the oldest museum in Perak, Malaysia. It was built in 1883 and maintains an excellent British architecture concept of the Art Deco kind. Most of this collection and artifacts are displayed in the museums in the four main galleries hosted in the almost 120 years old building. The building will remind you of a British architecture concept of the Art Deco kind. Besides the learning from the exhibits about the history of the park, you will also be able to see many other collections such as old radio, basic stuffed animals, skeletons of animals such as the crocodiles, elephant scales, and many other interesting animals of Malaysia. So now we go through review the four galleries.
I've seen her! Over there!
So now, before we go through the natural gallery, which is one of the four galleries in the Perak Museum, I want to ask of you, do you know how many kinds of animals, which animals' source, which animals' history? Don't worry to tell me first. Let's go and see together. So now we go to the natural gallery first. We can see left now the primate skeletons. So, do you know what are primates? You may have learned about in the biology textbook in the school class. Primates include common monkeys and apes. People are derived from the development and the differentiation of apes. Therefore, human position in the animal kingdom also belongs to primates. So, maybe you will be familiar too. I'm a human and I have one of the animal kingdom and belongs to the primates. And the right also have the elephant skeletons. So we continue. And there have many other species such as mountain goat, herrings, and the Sleddon wild buffalo, and the silver lodges, and many pictures from the textbook you are using now coming from here, as you can see. For more details, let's take a look at some specific video. Let's go. So as far as we can see from the video, the natural gallery is a collection of animal skeletons. It includes mammals, amphibians, and reptiles, and birds or insects, and the Perak Museum used to have a vast and excellent collection of animals. However, most of these exhibits have since been transferred to other museums in the country now. Maybe one of you from Langkawi and you can see in the Langkawi Museum there have some turtles. Maybe it's from the Perak Museum. What's more, actually many the collection skeletons or the bones for the animal have a long history in here. Maybe the time even you are still not born in the world and they are still in here. So maybe it's handed down from generation to generation and time by time. Maybe some age is older than your father, your mother, even your grandpa. Besides, don't forget which is outside of the museum is also important of a museum. It is a part of museum. So we can see the first is the green fighter. This fighter was donated by Mongol government. So now we can see this statue is a field worker and in his right hand have hold a soccer. So we can know he have a bigger influence in the soccer. What's more, based on this green fighter, we can know at that time the Mongol government have a good relationship with Malaysia. So for my teenagers, maybe this event you will know in your history book, just like why the Malaysian government will donate the fighter to the Malaysia. And the railway is also different before most of produced by wood. After that, we continue to next gallery, culture gallery. And we can see the first is Chinese New Year traditional items. In this day is special for Chinese, and the children will receive the red bag for the seniors or older to symbolize the want the children to be happiness and healthy. So it's different from Malay Hari Raya traditions. The different country, the different culture, and have a different opinion, different customer, especially for the teenagers. And we can know some local Malaysia and the Malaysian Chinese. They have different activities from the special days. And for the raft made of the bamboo for the river transport, just like the bus or the car now, can help you to transport everywhere, the same function but the different tools. Although the time by time and the time passed for few years, but the same function still used until now. So as for our thinking, parts make up all, or all can be parts. Parts can also represent all, so that means the four galleries also can represent the Perak Museum, and the Perak Museum also can divide it into the different gallery, just like the cultural gallery and the natural gallery. Everything in here can be the symbol of the Perak Museum. For example, the pyramid skeletons, and the cultural gallery, which are Chinese New Year, and the Malay Raya traditions. And teenagers can compare the different culture between China and Malaysia, and they can have all opinion to discuss with their friend, or when they learn the more knowledge from the textbook or from the lecture, and they can imagination. Especially for the different costume, if they go to the different country, if the Malaysian go to the China, and they can know which is the culture, which is the costume they have to effective or they feel important. As for the significant activity, including the anniversary, just like we see from the video, this is one anniversary for the Perak Museum, and everyone for here to celebrate them, and can for free to interest the museum to discuss and get communication with each other to share some of the history or for some of the more views and be more valuable. Therefore, some secondary school also will organize their students to visit the museum, and for this anniversary, and the students, I mean the teenagers, no need to organized by the school. They can with their family or the friends just to visit the museum and to learn some information and to get knowledge. So now we are talking about the effects of tourism and the other issues which have influenced heritage tourism of the state. Due to the COVID-19 and the MCO policies of the government, the decrease in the number of visitors lead to a decrease in the museum income. And at the same time, the occupation related to the museum will be also affected, because now museum is not operating. Some museum narrators may face unemployment. It's not only for the museum such as the heritage tourism of the state, but also have impacts for the tourism industry. Tourism is a highly sensitive industry and therefore has a great impact on it, because tourism is going from one places to another places. But in this special period during the COVID-19, you cannot go anywhere. especially for Malaysia. This year is the tourist year for Malaysia 2020, and during the COVID-19, they will reduce the tourists who want to travel to Malaysia because Malaysia also have the limit for the tourists during this special period. So, in the conclusion, although we still struggle with the COVID-19, but we believe the museum and for the Perak Museum or Malaysia or world, we can have the good balance between the economic tourism and the technology, and we still have the right way to solve any problem and can make everything to be better. And how to make protection for the heritage site, for the museum and the others. This all for me. Thank you.